Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Plays. Oh, I forgot my other note. This is Joshua Plays on Divine Insights. Welcome to my Bible channel. Welcome back to another episode, guys. I know it's been a while since I did the other one, which was Billie Eilish. That one was like 214 days ago, that episode. Of course, my speaker is broken right now, so I can't really use that for the episode. But I just cracked a theory in the Bible, which is absolutely insane, and I figured out with all the shows and movies and stuff, with Disney Plus and Disney and the way they promote stuff with their girl characters and all that, and on Netflix too and all that. I cracked the code with all the Bible verses. It all adds up too. With the first sin, this is my Bible theory. It all adds up. I have all the notes here. It's actually crazy. This theory actually makes sense. This is my Bible theory, guys. I hope I spent a long time working on this, so I hope you like it. And it all adds up too with the verses and all, and that's why so many marriages are destroyed and why so many guys go to jail is because of this sexual immoral sin in shows and movies and how the culture promotes it. So welcome to my theory. Okay, so are you ready? Here's my theory. I figured that the Bible theory, here it is. It was the first conflict between Adam and Eve, and they were both immediately and naked and were not ashamed. But in the first sin, we see man trying to make his effort to go to that sin. And that conflict between Adam and Eve is that man, which is Adam, blames Eve for the sin, saying, "The woman that you gave to me did this." So we see Adam blaming Eve, which is objectifying her, because he's blaming her. And God knows that, which is why he puts it back to Adam and says, "No, Adam, what you're saying is wrong because you're objectifying Eve." So what you're saying, because we see the first sexually immoral sin of Adam blaming Eve, which is objectifying her and sexually too. So God corrects Adam saying, "No, you shut up, Adam. It's your fault because you listened, you heeded the wife, and now you're responsible for that." So it's Adam's fault, but he blames Eve, which is him objectifying Eve, sexually immoral, which God corrects Adam and says, "No, what you said about Eve is wrong, and that sin is wrong." So that was the conflict between Adam and Eve, and that's why so many marriages are destroyed, is that conflict between that. So hold on, this theory actually gets better. And that's why so many guys go to jail, because of the culture and Adam and Eve trying to cover that sin. But we see that sin all the way back to Adam and Eve and that conflict in the garden. So that's why the culture promotes that stuff in movies, TV, anime, and shows on Netflix and Disney Plus. And that's why so many guys go to jail, is because of that objectifying girls and stuff that they see in that culture in the movies and TV and the shows and the websites that they see. And the first conflict between Adam and Eve, so Adam blames Eve, which is objectifying her, but God corrects Adam saying, "No, what you're saying about Eve is wrong because you're at fault because you're objectifying her by blaming her for your actions because you heeded the wife and now you're to blame," which is how the sin and the awareness of that nakedness. So they were both naked, and then that's why the sexual immoral came in that tree, and that's why God gave them clothing, because they just were like, "Oh, I'm aware of this now." I'm aware of this now and how this stuff works. So then God was like, "Yep, you're aware of this now, so I'm giving you clothing so you protect yourselves." So that's why he gave them clothing. And that's why sexual immorality enters into shows and movies and TV, is that original conflict between Adam and Eve, and him blaming Eve and objectifying her by blaming him for his actions. So that first sin affected all of media across culture, is from that original sin when Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman that you gave to me." So he's objectifying her by blaming her sexually. So that's the sexual immorality sin that 1 Corinthians 11 talks about, and that's why so many marriages are destroyed with guys, and that's why so many guys go to jail and get so many marriages are destroyed, is because of that original conflict in Genesis 1 and 2 and 3, and that's why Adam blames Eve, saying, "The woman that you gave to me," so he's sexually immoral her by blaming her for his actions, but Eve directs it back, God directs at Adam saying, "No, it's your fault, shut up. You stop blaming your wife for your actions. You're objectifying her by blaming her." So it's actually, that's my theory, and that's why so many marriages are destroyed. and that's why the culture promotes it, and that's the dating all the way back to the original conflict between Adam and Eve. So all that across media, movies, TV shows, music, and that's why we see all that stuff dates back to that original conflict between Adam and Eve, and him blaming her, saying, the woman that you gave to me. So that was the first hint of sexual immorality that entered media, shows, movies, and music across all of culture, was that original conflict between Adam and Eve when he blamed her and objectified her, saying, the woman that you gave to me. But God corrects him, saying, no, you shut up, Adam, because you hated the wife. So I hope you guys enjoyed of why movies, TV, and shows, it all dates back to that original conflict in the sexual and moral sin that entered across all movies, TV, and shows with everything, was that original conflict between Adam and Eve when he blamed Eve for his actions, saying, the woman that you gave to me, which is objectifying her. So that was the original sexual and moral sin, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. It took me a lot of effort, and I quote a lot of Bible verse, Hebrews, all that stuff. So that was the original theory. So that's why so many of the culture promotes that stuff in movies, TV, and show and music, was that original sin that was back between Adam and Eve when he said, no, the woman that you gave to me. But God corrects him, saying, no, what you're doing is wrong, and you're objectifying her, sexually immoral sin. So you shut up, Adam, because you hated your wife. So that's the original conflict, and that's why there's so many sexual and immoral stuff in shows and movies and TV and media, was that original conflict between Adam and God when Adam said, the woman that you gave to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was my theory. It makes sense too. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.